Hi, my name is Brett Lobella, and I'm here to talk to you about astrobiology. You might be wondering, what even is astrobiology? Well, it's the study of the origin, distribution, and evolution of the past and present. It looks at nature of life on Earth and the possibility of life elsewhere in the universe. When looking at this subject, astrobiologists look at what the limitations of life are. On Earth, there are organisms that can survive in the most extreme conditions, and namely so, we call them extremophiles. Most are prokaryotic, meaning single-celled organisms, and they're either bacteria or archaea, while some are multi-cell organisms called eukaryotes. If we can understand how they survive, adapt, and evolve, we can better narrow our search for the rest of the universe. Today, I'm going to cover a few extremophiles, some of which you've probably heard of before. The 4 extremophiles I will be covering today are baryllophiles, psychrophiles, thermophiles, and acidophiles. Before I tell you what each one is, I wrote 4 haikus, each one of them representing one of the extremophiles I just mentioned. Let's see if you can match all 4 of them to the correct extremophile. Here is the first haiku. Oh my, so very hot. Tiny cell size and genome. We love lots of salt. Now, which of the 4 do you think it could be? If you pick thermophile, you're right. Thermophiles exist in temperatures ranging from 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, or 140 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow, that's hot. They have a smaller genome to limit the mutation rate, and so their proteins are more constrained. They are also smaller due to selective pressure. This optimizes surface to volume ratio for uptaking of scarce nutrients. Smaller means it's easier to evade predators. They also ingest and produce salts like potassium chloride and magnesium chloride to prevent depurinization in DNA at high temperatures. The next haiku is, we are the coolest. Flexible membrane is key. Unsaturated. I wonder what extremophile that sounds like. Well, if you guessed psychrophile, you'd be right. Psychrophiles are cold-loving organisms that thrive in cold environments of anything below 15 degrees Celsius, which is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Some can live in environments of negative 37 degrees Celsius. That's equivalent to negative 34 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy. They need to keep the membrane of their cells flexible to stop it from turning into a gel under extreme cold temperatures. They do this by increasing the amount of unsaturated fatty acids in their plasma membrane. The next haiku is a fun one. Here it is. David Bowie song, Marianas Trench, We Thrive, Smaller Residues. Still don't know? What if I told you the David Bowie song was this? That's right, it's a barophile. They are organisms that can withstand immense pressure. Most of these organisms live deep in the ocean, where pressures can be 800 times that of our own air. Some have been found at the deepest part of the sea, at depths greater than 10,000 meters, or 7 miles, around the Marianas Trench. To survive at such depths, they incorporate small amino acid residues, like glycine and valine, to allow their proteins to be functional at such pressures. Finally, our last haiku is this. Like a tart lemon, hydrogens are our homies, buffers save our lives. Well, the only one remaining is an acidophile, so it must be that. Acidophiles love acidic conditions. That's any area with a pH less than 7. Think of like an organism living in a bath of squeezed lemons and battery acid. These organisms can maintain homeostasis, which is a cellular equilibrium, by keeping as many hydrogen protons out of the cell. They do this by raising the pH around them with molecules like dihydrogen phosphate. All these organisms we talked about could potentially share similar characteristics with life on other planets. Some planets have icy surfaces that could harbor psychrophiles or acidic hurricanes that give life to acidophiles. I hope you learned a thing or two about extremophiles and start to look into the different types of life we could find in our universe.